More than 1,100 days since October 12, 2019, jury selection began today for the murder trial of former Fort Worth police officer Aaron Dean. We're going to walk you through the case now. Atatiana-Jefferson's neighbor, James Smith, called a non-emergency line asking police to make sure she was okay. He said both front doors on the home were open, which wasn't normal for them.
Officer Dean arrived around 2:30 in the morning, and about a minute after he initially surveys the scene and the open front door, Dean circled around to the back of the house. But prosecutors say he never announced himself as a police officer. In court documents show that when Jefferson heard someone in her backyard, she grabbed her gun and opened the blinds. Officer Dean notices movement in the window and shouts, "Put your hands up, show me your hands." But not even a second later, he fires through the window and killed Jefferson.
Yeah, that's what we saw on body camera video released by Fort Worth PD. Testimony begins next week. But first, they have to pick a jury who will decide whether Dean is guilty of murder. Senior crime and justice reporter Rebecca Lopez was inside the courtroom today for jury selection. She's live in Fort Worth with more on this high-profile case. Rebecca.
Well, Cynthia, the judge is hoping that a jury can be picked by Friday. There were 200 potential jurors that were called, and the first question the judge asked them was how many people have heard about this case. 110 of those 200 potential jurors raised their hands. So all of those people will have to come back and be individually questioned to see if they can sit on this jury without any kind of prejudices. Now, the potential jurors filled out a 25-page questionnaire. They were asked if they had heard of Aaron Dean or seen the body camera footage. Prosecutors want to know if the potential jurors could convict an officer, while the defense wants to know if any of the jurors have a bias against police officers. They also asked about race and how they felt about deadly force. Cynthia and Chris.
Rebecca, there was some drama today when one of the witnesses was outside protesting. Who was that witness? What happened?
Well, it was James Smith, the man that you just talked about, that called police in the first place. And he had a sign out here today that said, "Justice for Atatiana-Jefferson." But there is a gag order in this case. The judge has told all the jurors and, the attorneys and also all the witnesses that they cannot talk about this. So Smith will be called into the judge's chambers tomorrow. He will be sworn in officially and told that he cannot do that again or be held in contempt of court. Now, Dean's defense attorneys want this case moved out of Tarrant-County, saying they don't believe that they can find an unbiased jury. The judge has not ruled yet on that motion. He is first going to see if they can seat 12 jurors and 12 alternate jurors out of this jury pool. If not, he will call another 200 jurors, potential jurors, next week. And if they can't find 14 people, then he could decide to move this trial. But they are hoping, again, to have this jury seated by Friday. And one more note, Jim Lane, the lead defense attorney in this case, did pass away yesterday. He was very popular here at the courthouse. So the judge says that the trial still will go on, but there could be a pause at some point for a funeral. There were a lot of people here in Fort Worth, as well as a lot of people here at the courthouse that would want to attend his funeral. He was well regarded here in Tarrant-County. So there could be a pause, but the trial will in fact go on at this point. Back to you guys.
All right. Thank you, Rebecca. And for more information on this trial, we have a full write-up for you at WFAA.com, including a background information and a full timeline on this case. You can find it all on the front page of WFAA.com.